Good day. This is Cast Iron ASMR in Scooby-Doo Doom Patrol in a canoe. The lake is incredibly calm. It's like glass. If glass were a little bit more bendy. We've got the dog with us, which seems fitting, since we'll be looking at Scooby-Doo Team-Up, issue 43, featuring Doom Patrol. This issue, I don't know if you can take a look there, but there's a little bit of water damage. Maybe I read this. Maybe I read this in a canoe before, but I know I didn't. Oh, there's a beetle. Anyway, when you got a cover that's got a little bit of water damage, kind of makes a nice sound. All right. Just getting a little more comfortable. Doom Patrol. I have some Doom Patrol comics with me, which I never read. There's a story. There's a story behind every comic, I suppose. The first Doom Patrol comic I ever got was this one. The Doom Patrol. And it was at Christmas time, and in the Christmas catalog, when the comic books were getting all popular after the release of Batman, the '89 superhero flick, people started buying comic books. So much so that you could get a comic book box from the Christmas catalog, and it was filled with random comic books. So the first year that I got this for Christmas, there was a Doom Patrol comic in it, and I don't believe I ever read it. Then, many years later, actually probably only, anyway, years ago, I got these other three, and I actually have a copy, so I don't know which one was the one I got originally. Now, I didn't know about the Doom Patrol so much, especially since I didn't read the one comic I had. But I did just read this Scooby-Doo Team-Up with the Doom Patrol. And it was really good. I didn't really remember reading it when it first came out. Here's this. This is 2018. So in 2018, I read this, and then I just read it the other day, and it's really good, and it's so good, in fact, and so I didn't realize the Doom Patrol were a funny, weird superhero team. And after I read it, I thought, holy cow, I gotta go back and find these Doom Patrol comics. I was kind of excited because I thought, oh, I missed out all this time. But let's just jump to the chase. I believe that this is like maybe the second series. They're talking, this is number 2. But this is sort of like the next generation. And it wasn't funny at all. I like the art. The art's pretty good. I mean, I've talked about art in comic books before. And if you might like a different style of, like, the people, look at the detail. Like, you're looking into this room. It's been broken open. And there's buttons and dials. They draw these backgrounds. Who's this artist? Steve Lytle. So, perhaps the original Doom Patrol were better than these reboot. Maybe not reboot, but just restart. Anyway, let's get on to the goods. It's Scooby-Doo Team-Up number 43. Take a look at the gang. Now, even though I've read these, let's see if I can get them. That's Robot Man, which is funny because Robot Man was also a comic strip in the newspapers, Robot Man, which then got a cartoon. Had a little song ditty to it, I still remember. I want to be your Robot Man. We all love you so much, Robot Man. But in the comics, he was a little more starky in the comic strip, and then obviously you make a cartoon for the kiddies, and you gotta make him lovable. So the Robot Man comic strip, I'm going off on a tangent. Sorry, Doom Patrol. But the Robot Man comic strip later outgrew Robot Man. And Robot Man had, he lived with like this, I don't know, I would guess 20-something guy, probably in his apartment. What was his name? Was Monty. And later Robot Man left and it just became Monty, the comic strip. So, Robot Man, and then who's this guy? Oh, I was going to say he was Mr. Negative, but that's who that guy is. I don't know. Now, we're going to talk a little bit, I'll show you a little bit in this Scooby-Doo comic book about the wonders of stock footage. I've mentioned this before, definitely in the cartoon series. They would reuse animation cells to cut down on the time. But take a look at this Velma. You'll see that pose a lot. Such, who's she? Alright, let's take a look inside. Here we've got an ad for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know what version this is. Looks like he's got bunny ears. And is that April? Probably. It's a little more violent. She carries around a bat. Maybe that's Casey Jones in a not race swap, but gender swap? I don't know. But it's new on Nickelodeon. So at the beginning of this comic, it's like at the end of a adventure. Look, they say, well, that wraps up the case of the high-rise horror. Especially since they're... Wait, what's this one? Who'd have suspected the ghost was really the creepy old lighthouse keeper? Especially since there aren't any lighthouses in the middle of the city. That's kind of cool. They solve the mystery. Oh, actually, this is really good. So they're driving down the street. So I just read this. Like, uh-oh. And they're like, whoa, what's this sign? Where do we go? I don't know if Bono Tuvada, welcome feelings. I don't really get it, if that's another language. But then something happens to this guy, and then what? They're in a warehouse. The whole street suddenly became in this warehouse, and then they're like, oh no. Alright, here we go. Look at Scooby and Shaggy, that screen. So what they would do, I'm sure they have just files with the pictures. This guy just drew a whole bunch of pictures, a whole bunch of the gang. Look at there's Velma, Fred. So then, even the Mystery Machine, the only original thing I believe they would have drawn on this whole page was like that and this. And all this, they just clip and paste it, move them in. You can tell, resize it so it's big. Look at the line there, it's even like pixelated. And there's some really bad examples. Or good bad examples, I should say. But, I don't mind. But they do, so this is by issue 43. It was far more noticeable in these later issues. Alright. So these guys fight with each other. I had never, like I said, read one of these before. Take a look at Velma. And you can tell by the line, if you get a close look, it's been blown up, so it's sort of pixelated. Look at him, look how fine, you know, they had to draw him, because they don't have stock footage of, who's that guy? The Chief. You can call me the Chief. He was the original Doom Patrol guy, and that guy, I like the paper in this comic. I don't know if later some of them became glossy maybe on the inside, but nothing beats newsprint. That's what comics were all about. Look at that guy. That's what comics were all about, is a cheap form of entertainment. Like, this cost 75 cents. And 89. This one, well, it says $2.99. They used to have the price in US and Canadian on the front. Yeah, like here. So when this was 75 cents, then it was $1 in Canada and 40 pence in the UK. So this lady grows tall. This one here. Okay, let's take a good look at Daphne. She's thinking, huh? I don't know. Oh yeah, this is actually pretty funny. This guy's like, how'd you guys get in our secret base? And they're like, what? She's like, huh? I don't know. We were just driving down the street, and then suddenly we were here. I gather you met one of the Doom Patrol's reserve members, Danny the Street. One of your members is a street, a living street, who's capable of teleporting, yes. But Bronster. That's awesome. When I read that, I was like, okay, you got me. You got a team member who is a street. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. So this monster's showing up. These are like Doom Patrol's villain gallery. Look at this. I never seen this other than this ad, but this looks really cool. And they would reprint this ad in quite a few comics I got. And it took me a while before I realized, and I even was looking at it again, and I'm not positive, so it's Batman, a lot of Little Gotham. And I thought it was just like, you know, like the little Archies. But when you look closer, like that's the size of a bat. So how big is a bat? Like maybe this big? So these people are all like, they're like the Smurfs. Are they 3 apples high? Who draws this? I don't know who the artist is. Who is this artist? It's very good. I really like that. Look at Aquaman. He's in the Batmobile's got all filled up with water. Alright, so here we've got the gang. Put the card in there. That's them. One thing about this comic that's kind of funny is that it all takes place in their secret headquarters, which is a warehouse. So when in a lot of these scenes, you don't have to draw the background. It's just one color. So yeah, very easy. Very easy. Especially when, like some of these pages, they just put them together with previously drawn stuff. That's been drawn, that. Even this, here's where it is a poor example of how that doesn't work so good. They've taken, let's see, they've taken Daphne. What the heck? Oh yeah, because she's really tall like this. But she's not that tall right there. They've shrunk them. And when you do that, when you shrink them, even though it's the same picture, the lines get so skinny and small, it does not look like they're in the same panel together. Didn't we see that before? Okay. Oh my. Oh my. So they just flip it. Actually, is that the same? It totally is. Unless it's darker. Yeah, that's the exact same. Oh wait, it's not. But it's one of the times she does. There's a really good example. Kind of skipping over the story here. But there was one so obvious that I read it before. Oh yeah, right here. Look at these panels. It's like it's the same, shrunk, but even like just a page later in the same position almost. And some of them I remember looking at the same pages, so I really realized, I don't know which issue. It's like, there's Velma, or there's Daphne, scratching her chin, and then like, oh, there she is there. Like, what? Like, okay, come on, give us a new picture. Here's where computer effects can be used to a good result. Just taking that original drawing, cutting it out, make a copy, shrink it, make the opacity less, see through it, do it all the way down. That's cool. I mean, it works. Alright, so the street brought them into their headquarters, the Doom Patrol. They like to call themselves the weirdest superheroes or something. The strangest superheroes. Then those must be the world's strangest superheroes. The Doom Patrol. That's what Velma said. We should say it more like Then those must be the world's strangest superheroes, the Doom Patrol. Danny the Strange. Oh, and it turns out, I remember this. Whoever this lady is. I'll introduce themselves. That is Beast Boy's mom. You're Beast Boy's mother? Adopt a mother. I'm not that old. So all these different monsters keep showing up. But they deduce, here's the spoiler, Fred. Does this pose fair often? In our experiences, if monsters show up one at a time, that could all be the same person, dressed up in different costumes. Too bad we didn't have time to pull off Gargoyle's mask. So they're all bickering all the time. They got some jokes. I kind of like this guy more than the robot man. That's the Brotherhood of Evil. Ruh-oh. Oh yeah, and look, oh, is that from the front? Oh yeah, check it out. I knew we'd see that again. I didn't recognize that. When Velma gets scared, she does this little dance. Whoa! And look, there it is there too. My goodness. So you put them there, and just click on, let's make the page. But I know these guys from, I think they were in, well, they're the Brotherhood of Evil. I think I saw them in a cartoon once, Teen Titans and the Powerpuff Girls. They look pretty cool. So, oh yeah, so now suddenly these four people show up. But when they hit one of them, the others feel the pain. It's a clue. And then, who's Crazy Jane? Another villain? Oh no, I'm one of the reserve members. Is she really? Yeah, no, no. Oh no. Okay, here we go. There's Daphne. So, that's that one. Definitely. And then they just move the eye placement even. Look at that. Look at, oh, can we see that? How tricky that is. So you say, no, that's not the same because she's looking in a different direction. I used to make some comics, and I know all the tricks. You got that picture, you got that picture. Just cut out those eyes. You could probably even just then flip that, and that's what that is. Good on you, Scooby-Doo. So then in the end here, all these different villains have been the same villain. The animal, vegetable, mineral man. Man, when I saw this, I thought, this is one of the things, when I was just reading this the other day, I thought these guys got some class. Some comedy class. That's funny. It's an animal, vegetable, mineral. The AVM man. The Wild Games. He's like, if he acts like different people, they wouldn't know how to defeat him. Raw. Oh, and then they So here too, like back before before computers were used in the comic books, you could do some photocopying and shrinking and such, but it would be a hassle. Like, wouldn't that look kind of cooler if they drew it? They look too perfect. It's like if you have a picture, everything's super detailed. Sometimes that's cool, but that's not how you look at something. It's not how it would look. Really? What? And even in this example, when she's shrinking, by just having those lines, is that more effective than that Photoshopped one? I would argue that this is better. That's kind of cool, but maybe in the beginning now it's been seen so much, it's neat to see comic books that you can tell like they're drawn by a person and a pencil and a pen. Oh, okay. So they call in this reserve member, and his name is Flex Mentallo. And I'd heard that name before. Maybe they made a series or something at some point that I'd heard of but never looked at, like way back a long time ago. So he comes in. That's right. That's right. The chief called me the sensational character find of the year, Flex Mentallo. A bodybuilder? That costume looks chilly. Do you think he'd like an ascot to keep him warm? So he flexes. Hero of the beach. Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. Fool, you think muscles can stop me? Not ordinary muscles. But I'm the master of muscle mystery, the secret mystical techniques of muscle mystery made me a man. I have developed my muscles and tendons to such a degree that they give me powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal muscles. Muscle mystery? Muscle mystery? Hey, you're the one who studied the Hong Kong Book of Kung Fu. So his muscles and flexing hypnotize the bad guy, and everyone has to avert their eyes. It's hilarious. When I found these comics, I'm looking through, there's no Flex Mentallo, there's no animal, vegetable, mineral man. In fact, there's a letter called on one of these praising this new comics, and said, please don't bring back animal, vegetable, mineral man. And that's what I was looking for. So that's awesome. Oh, and it worked. His muscles are a mystery to be solved. And look here. Cut and paste. It's like a sticker. That's why this warehouse was really easy. It's like, okay, it'd be really easy just to put those people in there wherever. One thing funny, I like this joke about the ascot and Fred. They had a movie, Scooby-Doo meets Kiss, and at the end, like during the or no, he liked this band called, wasn't the Ascot 5 or something, and at the end when the credits are rolling, the song comes on and it says, don't touch my ascot, don't touch my ascot, don't touch my ascot, kind of like a barber shop quartet. But then I kept watching, it was so funny, I kept watching the credits, and it was actually sung by Kiss, which is hilarious. Oh, look, we got some Aquaman. just gonna get up for a second because I'm sitting cross-legged and my foot's asleep. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, let's just let my circulation return. Oh, that's the poochie. What do you think? All right, maybe we should do this puzzle. I'm sitting up here now. Greetings, surface dwellers. It's Aquaman. Aquaman here. As ruler of the seven seas, my wife Mira and I watch over thousands of species of fish. How many can you name? I don't know why my dog's doing that. Bro, are you thirsty? You're a thirsty butchie. Okay. So we've got gold plus fish equals goldfish. So, okay, these are pretty easy. Sword plus fish. Doll plus fin. Doll. Oh, you know what? At first I thought it was doll shark, but then I got it. Dolphin. Hammer. Head. G. Dog. G plus dog. Jig. Oh god. G plus dog minus P. What? I don't know. What's a dog, right? Puppy. Oh, maybe it's a puppy. Minus guppy. Man, that would have looked. That would have looked up. All right. That looks like a plank. Plus ton. Plankton. Sea star. Clownfish. What's this? Tire. Or wheel. Eel. Minus catfish. Alright, did you solve them all? Did you solve them all? If you feel out of your depth, don't worry. You'll find the answers below you. On the back of these DC Kids ones, they always have characters, descriptions. We got Batman and the Joker. And then the last page, they would, entertainment for everyone, they would list the other all ages comics. Here you might think, oh no, they're just listing the Scooby-Doo comics. Well, that's because by this year, what did I say, it was 2018? These were the only all ages comics they printed at this time. And then they even ended this one. And the regular Scooby-Doo. DC was going all in with not having stuff for the kids. Before there were a bunch. Anyway. So, yeah, that's the Scooby-Doo Team-Up. And these old ones. I'm not going to bother looking through these. But look at the difference when I was talking about it. Like the backgrounds. They would. That's a nice picture. Man, I started looking at these and stuff like this. That was like what I looked at to learn to draw comics, this style, kind of cross-hatching. But it's neat. It's like anybody can do this. Not anybody can do it, but you can pick up a pen and pencil and do the drawings. Write the story. Yeah, I was really disappointed in these actual comics I read. I thought I'd read them all. I read 2 and 4. I have 2. Wait, there's 2. Yeah, I read this one. And I read this one, and I didn't read this one with the doubles. The only one, so that guy's in it, and this guy's in it, and that's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. They talk about the dude in they talk about this guy, but that's it. And even that guy's like, he's like dead, like on life support. Uh-oh. What's over there? Alright. So, good day, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And thanks for tuning in.